Good evening, good day, good morning, everyone. So I am here to present to you the higher order derivatives and the chain rule. The chain rule is similar with the product rule, but there are some additional. And when you say higher order, it means there is a higher derivative. If we have the first derivative, it means we have second derivative, third derivative, and so on. So say for example, you've got f of x is equals to x to the fourth plus 3x cubed minus 4x plus 2. So the first derivative is you've got 4x cubed, 9x squared minus 4. And again, this one is differentiable, and therefore we may still differentiate the first derivative, and we've got the second derivative, which is noted as f prime of x or f double prime of x. Pwedeng ito ang pagkasulat, which is equivalent to 3 times 4x squared, that is 12x squared, 9 times 2x, and that is 18x. And still we can differentiate another one. So we call f double prime and its subsequent derivative the higher order derivatives of f. And if the f prime is the trend or the pattern of the slope, then the second also will identify if that is increasing or decreasing yung ating curve. Consider that the y equals f of x, the derivative y prime or f prime of x, d of y of x, or dy dx is called the first derivative of f with respect to x. Similarly, if we have the second order or second derivative, we've got y double prime, f double prime, d squared y in x, and d squared of y over dx squared. That is the second order. Okay, so with the third derivative is the same. We've got 3 prime f 3 prime of x and d cube of y in x and d cube y over dx cube. In general, the nth derivative of f with respect to x is the derivative of the n minus 1 first derivative and is denoted by this. Y to the n f of nx is equals to dnxy and dny over dxn, where n is any natural number. So formally, we have the following definition. The nth derivative of the function is defined recursively. So recursively, it means pasunod. Hindi pwedeng makakuha ka ng third derivative kung wala ka pang second derivative. And we've got f prime of x is equals to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h as h goes to 0, or delta x goes to 0. For n equals 1, and for n is greater than 1, you have f of n of x equals to f of limit of f n minus 1 prime of x plus delta x minus f of n minus 1 of x all over delta x as delta x goes to 0 for n greater than 1. So meaning, kung kunin natin ang third derivative, dapat 3 minus 1, dapat makakuha ka muna ng second derivative. And that is, the remarks, a function f can be written also as f 0 prime of x. In the notation, f of n of x is n is called the order of the derivative. So example, find the fourth derivative of f of x equals x to the fifth minus 3x to the fourth plus 2x cubed minus x squared plus 4x minus 10. So we differentiate the function repeatedly. So first we have the first derivative. We got 5, of course, minus 1, that is 4. So 5x to the fourth. 4 times 3, that is 12. 4 minus 1, that is 3, so 12x cubed. 3 times 2, 6, 10 minus 1, so that is 6x squared. And 2 times 1 here, minus 1, so that is 2x plus 4 times 1 times is 4, then x to the power of 0, which is 1. So you've got 5x to the fourth minus 12x cubed plus 6x squared minus 2x plus 4. Going back with that, you can get the second derivative. It is multiplied, subtract, multiply, subtract. We've got 20x cubed minus 36x squared plus 12x minus 2. And then still differentiable, you've got 60x squared, multiply, subtract the exponent, multiply, subtract, then you've got 60x squared minus 72x plus 12. And f to the fourth prime of x, that is 120x minus 7. This is fourth order in x. That is 120x minus 72. So, hindi siya madaling kukunin yung fourth derivative pag hindi ka makadaan talaga sa first, second, and third. Find the first and second derivatives of the function. So, this is the product rule. And if you're going to multiply this one, you've got pwede tayong copy derivative copy. So, pwede copy derivative of x squared minus 3x plus copy of this one plus derivative of the first. Okay? So, it means you've got 3x squared minus 4 times 2x minus 3 because this is 2x minus 3 ang derivative plus copy this one and the derivative of this is 6x. Then multiply, you've got 6x cubed minus 9x squared minus 8x plus 12 plus 6x cubed minus 8 and x squared. Then we can combine yung mga x cubed, combine yung mga x squared, then may x, and then yung whole number. So that means we can have this derivative. Or we can multiply this one, which is 3x squared times x squared. That is, of course, pwede nating multiply, and then pag simplify, you will get the same result. The second derivative is the derivative of this, which is 36x squared minus 54x minus 8, and this is our second derivative. So if we're going to find the second order of the derivative in this, the higher derivative, the higher or the second order derivative of 3x plus 5 over x squared plus 5, you can use the low d high. So that is low d high minus high d low, or low over low squared. So you've got copy of the denominator times the derivative of 3x, which is 3, then copy, and the derivative of this is 2x minus in between. So you will get 3x squared plus 12 minus 6x squared minus 10x. Then you will get negative 3x squared, negative 10x, and plus 12 over x squared plus 4. So, okay na ito. If you want to find this one, it means dalawang beses because ito ay first derivative pa lang. So, the second derivative of this is low again. That is, then derivative of this numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator. And this is the result. So you've got the long term of expressions on the second order derivative of 1. So any question? Next is find the third derivative of the function. So to find the third derivative, we know that derivative of e to the x is e to the x. So it means we will use the product rule, that is copy derivative and copy e to the x, then derivative negative 8x, plus copy 5x, derivative e to the x, plus copy, and then derivative of 5x is 5, minus 10 is then derivative of 8x is e to the x. Then you have negative 4x squared e to the x, negative 8 e to the x times x, plus 5x e to the power of x, plus 5e to the x, minus 10e to the x. That means this is negative 4x squared, then we can add this one, that is negative 3x e to the x. Then we can add also this one, which is negative 5e to the x. Then that is the first order. The second order is, we know that this can be negative, we have e to the x, copy, the derivative of this is negative 8x, okay. Then derivative of this, again, you have negative 3, and then copy e to the x, then copy derivative, okay. And then this one, copy the, okay na, dito na, that is negative 5 e to the x. That is the second derivative. And the third derivative is this one. You've got e to the x, then the derivative of this, plus the derivative of that, copy. So you will get e to the x. Mapapansin mo, there are many ways how to find the derivative, but if you are going to just be consistent, that if you are going to do the multiplication or the power rule or the multiplication rule, product rule, that means copy derivative plus derivative copy. Yun talaga ang pinakaano. F of x equals e to the x sine x minus 3 e to the x cosine x. Find the fifth order of the derivative. Oh my god. So to find, we have the first derivative. The first derivative of e to the x, of course, copy derivative. The derivative of sine x is cosine x, plus copy derivative, so sine x e to the x, minus this one, copy and derivative, that is e to the x, negative sine x, copy derivative, that is cosine x e to the x, and then negative brace here. So e to the x cosine x plus e to the x sine x minus 3 times, this becomes plus na. So, plus 3e to the x sine x. Minus ito kasi multiplied, negative 3e to the x cosine x. And then, pwede natin i-factor. And we know that here, yung ating sine ay isang e to the x sine x, tatlong e to the x. So, apat na e to the x sine x. Ito naman ay e to the x cos x. Ito ay minus 3e to the x cos x. So, negative 3 plus 1, that is negative 2e to the x cos x. So, pwede na yun siya. We got 4e to the x sine x minus 2e to the x cosine x, or we can factor. So, that's the first derivative. The second derivative is dito na tayo. So, copy derivative, then derivative copy. Okay, so that means copy derivative of this 4 cosine x minus derivative of this 2 negative 2 sine x. Then, plus this one is copy derivative. So, that is copy the derivative of e to the x is pareho lang po e to the x. So, you can simplify. That is equal to 4 cosine x e to the x plus 2 e to the x sine x plus e to the x 4 sine x minus 2 e to the x cosine x. Ito yon kasi ito ay multiplier dito. So, we have 2 cosine x e to the x plus 6 e to the x sine x, or we can factor the e to the x. Okay? And then this third derivative, of course, we can copy this one and then derivative of this, that is negative 2 sine x times, okay, of course, thus derivative of this is 6 cosine x, okay. Then, copy naman ito, then derivative, ayan. So, we can have negative 2e to the x sine x plus 6 e to the x cosine x plus 2e to the x cosine x plus 6e to the x sine x. And we can add that is equivalent to 8e to the x cosine x plus 4e to the x sine x is the third derivative. The fourth order is ito copy derivative. So, derivative of cosine is negative sine, derivative of sine is cos. So, it means copy the derivative plus copy, then derivative, then simplify. And the fifth order is the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Okay, derivative of sine is cosine. And then copy derivative, then copy ulit derivative. So, derivative of the next step. We can simplify. Ang haba ng ating fifth derivative, no? Oh my God. So, these are the exercises. Okay, thank you so much. And we're going to the chain rule. That is the next lesson.